Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we are taking a look at Fort Triumph, specifically an alpha build, a very early alpha build. And usually I don't do these, but the concept of the game caught my eye, so I decided to try it out anyway. I put in about an hour so far. This is a game by Cookie Byte Entertainment, and the game was kickstarted successfully April last year. I can't remember for how much, but either way, successfully kickstarted, and it's coming to Steam Early Access as of April 26th. So you'll be seeing this quite a bit before that, but I will link to the page. There's a page already on Steam. And it's a tactical RPG, but fantasy based. They described it to me, or rather the PR company who contacted me, described it as it's fantasy XCOM. But it's more than just XCOM in a different setting. They are much more focused on environmental interaction. So for instance, knocking an enemy into an environment hurts them, knocking an enemy into an enemy stuns them, you can knock trees over to crush enemies, you can push barrels at them. I haven't quite got the hang of the battle system because it's not like I'm used to XCOM, as you'll know if you're familiar with the channel. I'm used to moving unit here, fire at enemy, see what happens, probably miss if it's a rookie. I'm not used to being able to interact with the scenery as much as the game allows. I do have some issues with the alpha build, but everything I'm going to say here, whether positive or negative, please do keep in mind it is heavily subject to change. And I believe you, if you're a backer of the Kickstarter, you're trying the same build currently. There might be a new build once the Early Access campaign draws near, I'm not sure. All that information will be on the Steam page. Anyway, I'm going to start a new campaign. As you can see, there's all these options, but right now in this build there's only Fort Triumph, A Short War. The overview, or rather the overmap of the game reminds me a lot of like the Might and Magic games a little bit. It's like you and other armies moving around together. But anyway, let's jump in. I'm going to play on easy because I find the balance of the game a little off. And I haven't actually played the game on easy yet, so I'm curious how it's going to compare. I guess we'll play the tutorial, we'll get through it quickly. So yeah, I've been playing quite a few battles off camera. And it just seems like all the enemies have way too much movement, way too much damage, especially because you can't actually heal. You can find potions during fights, but they seem to drop very rarely. In the mission that we're going to do after this, there is a healer, but you have to get to them first. But yeah, they just seem to do too much damage. All your people basically die in 2 hits, and there's just way too many enemies. So I don't think the balance is right, but they did say in a blurb that you didn't see because it's up before you start the game. Balance is something they're working on, it's not done yet. So anyway, we have Leandra Page Turner here, and she is talking to Theodore, her horse, or rather is imagining what he's replying. The game's writing is good, but I got a little tired of the constant humour. It's not serious. I'm also curious if it will let me do, yeah. I'm using WSD to move the map, Q and E to turn the camera at my whim, which I'll teach us about shortly. Well, let's try and get through the basics. Right click to move. You have 2 AP per turn. And in a second, we'll see our first enemy. I'd also like to point out, yeah, once you get into the game proper, arrows do not just do 2 to you, they do a lot more. Anyway, let's move into cover. And then we will zap this man. This goblin, sorry. The game is made in Unity, for whoever worries about that kind of thing. And I think it looks good. And this, it is a gimmick, but I don't mean it in an insulting way. But the gimmick of interacting with scenery is very interesting. Anyway, we're flanking this person now, so he doesn't get his cover bonus. You know how it works. Although that's actual proper flanking. I always had problems with what XCOM considered flanking. So, health potion, we'll pick that up. We will use it. And then we're going to cast Whirlwind. So it pushes targets away. So if we use Whirlwind and we use it on here. Another thing, in the tutorial this has a much higher success rate. I've tried to use Whirlwind quite a bit in the campaign, and it always seems to just not work. But anyway, there's an example of how to use the scenery. You can crush people. So let's go nab that key. I'll let this conversation play out, or I'll read it rather because there's no voice acting, but after that I'm probably just going to fast forward, honestly, because as I say, the writing is clever, it's funny, it's just, it layers the jokes on way too thickly, in my opinion. Anyway, Leandra slinkers on the edge of a large goblin camp. A metal cage sits not too far away, holding what appears to be a human prisoner. She calls to the caged prisoner in hushed tones. Psst, hey, are you alright? I can get you out of there. You ruined plan. I don't know why, but I imagine this lady having a Russian accent. What plan? Cries help. Lord Goblin Guard. Hide on ceiling. Drop down. Escape. I can't do a Russian accent. Escape to wilderness. Ancient family technique. It's a clear metal cage. He'll just see you. Besides, I just dropped a pillar on the guard. You kill Warden? Oh, poor Warden. He have wife, kids, spider puppy. You know, likes flying kite and reminisce old days. Never hurt fly. Oh gods, I didn't know. I couldn't know. Hold on. He shot me just now. Why are you trying to guilt me? Hehe, Warden was cruel as vulture. But you ruined plan. A terrible plan that would have gotten you killed. Look, I'm freeing you with this key and we're escaping together before too many more goblins notice us. Can you zoom in? You can zoom in. How far can I get zoomed in? I can get zoomed in pretty far, actually. Alright, so we open the cage and now we have two characters to play as. We can use tab to switch between them. And you're hiding there. This is our kind of melee focused lady. I don't like her run animation. She needs to do something, like, even if it's just like, have her hands do something else and it would look a lot better. Anyway, we can press the end turn button. So the way the goblins are moving here, that's about half the normal distance they seem to move once we're out of the tutorial. Anyway, so here is the environmental stuff. We're going to kick this box. It's going to hit that box. It's going to hit that goblin. The goblin's going to hit the wall. And thus kill him. It does also take us out of cover, mind you. And the game has Overwatch with ranged units. Concocting schemes. Alright, so we've got 3 melee-based goblins. You can see their stats up here. I didn't realise it gave them customised titles. Goblin Raider, the Reasonable, Goblin Raider Dogbane, Goblin Raider the Cave Dweller. Cave Dweller, not Cave Dweller. You idiot. Anyway. Move closer, then use Whirlwind to push this man into the water. Goblins, very famously, cannot swim. Now I leveled up, and we want to learn, what do you get? +1 skill, +1 HP, and usually you get a choice of 2 things to customize, but the tutorial wants us to take Fireball for reasons. Alright, with 2 goblins left you cannot possibly kill both, so move Krita next to Leandra to protect her. See, look at the way her hands move when she runs, and halves the damage sustained from attacks rounding up. So it's the number in the brackets we're actually taking, I think. I mean, yeah, it must be. He did 2 damage, but it got rounded down. Well, it halved. I guess that means if you got hit for 3, it would round up to 2. Anyway. Play more defensively this turn. So you move over here. Go into Overwatch. And murder. Also, this melee lady, if she's next to someone and they move away, she gets a free hit on them. But the mage does not have that. So now we've got an archer, and we should have a big guy. Yeah, there he is. He runs a bit weird as well. Police Goblin Sergeant. A goblin in a worn, decorated uniform appears. The prisoner has escaped. Recruit. Weapon at the ready. Form a perimeter. Set loose the troll. Discussing humans, you're surrounded, yet we're not without mercy. Come out with your hands up, and we'll put in a good word for you. Might lower your sentence to sacrifice to the blood demons, or even a beheading by the soul steel axe. We want flailing by despair crags or no deal. Can't do, you're still definitely guilty of 3 separate counts of being filthy humans. Good point, can't argue, we take deal. What? I'm not having my soul stolen, stole that troll for me. Time to get creative. Move Krita in front of the goblin and kick it. So it killed the goblin and stunned the troll. Now I don't know if it's a bug of the alpha version, but I've had a stunned enemy still be able to act. Which is a little weird. So we're going to use Fireball and we're going to set the tree on fire. Killed the goblin outright because he was in the AoE itself. Set the troll on fire. Also murdered the poor tree, obviously. But I guess stunned enemies do still get to move, they just don't get to attack. Maybe that's what it is. Alright, so we're basically done here. I wonder if I could kick him into the house. I could just hit him and kill him, but let's experiment because we're about done anyway. Okay, yeah, stun him for another turn. Honestly, that probably means I can just like run up here. And then finish him. The enemies will kick you as well, it's worth pointing out. So now we should be on the overworld map, I think. Oh wait, no, we have one more tutorial mission. Although you're kind of given free reign. Now I think to a certain extent the levels are randomized. Or, you know, procedurally generated or something. First time I was doing this mission, lost. Because I just got swarmed by too many enemies too early. So I pressed restart the mission. And the initial layout and the initial enemy spawns were entirely different. And I'm going to fast forward this cutscene. This lady wants to be spared, but you know, I won't fast forward at all. But you know, there's a lot of skeleton puns. You know, she wants to be free, but this man's going to turn her into a skeleton. I have no problem with the tone of the game being moderately just goofy. Incidentally, it's a welcome change from the very, very serious tone of XCOM. I say as I put all my people in pink armor. But anyway, also he's agoraphobic. The constant humor, though, it comes across as a little immature. Even if it is clever humor. Anyway, she's a skeleton now. She's working in human resources. Alright, so let's see. Also, we have a paladin now. And an archer lady. Who might as well be Carillion from Vermintide. Alright, we can fast forward to this, just get into combat. So now we have a team of 4. But they're very squishy. Also, again, this is technically the third time I've done this mission because I had to retry once when I was doing it blind. Layout is different again. We're approaching from a different angle. I think the final encounter is the same because we kind of saw it. But yeah, to a certain extent, the level is different. But what that does mean is, like, if I was just to do, like, restart, we just get a different version right now. Not going to do that until I see how the fight goes. And let's see who we're on right now. Probably want to be on the... I think you can just press, yeah. We want to be on the paladin, come up here, see if we see an enemy. We do. We see... Is that an archer? Melee guy, archer. I think there was a third one hidden up there. Alright, let's see. I've forgotten which colour of shield is better. I think it's the silver shield, because the wooden shield means the scenery is breakable. Ah, there is another one. Another archer in cover. Okay. I am curious, like, for instance, if I kick this into that fence, would it break the fence and give me another way to get in? Can I test that? Oh, I can. Let's test it. I may as well experiment, because as I say, that's the part I'm lacking in, I think. Oh, that's a shame. That would have been fun. That's alright. Now then, I'm curious if you'll be able to fire from here. So the lady has an interesting, the archer lady has an interesting skill here, which is pull a target. But if there's something in between the target you hit and you pulling them, you could just cause like a marble effect where they all bounce into each other. I don't think I can do that here. 24% chance? Nah, that's not worth it. 84% chance to smack. 24%. Yeah, get the guy in the open. So my mage lady is almost certainly not going to get into a good position, unfortunately, and I think the fireball would be way out of range. Yeah, so we're just going to overwatch with her and see what happens. And you still have AP left. Oh wait, no, you got to level up. Dash and slash allows the savage to move one more time before performing an action, or bloodlust. The savage becomes frenzied, doubling the damage inflicted by and to it. I'll take the dash and slash. I hate taking more damage from things. See, that feels like a shot that 1 shouldn't be known and 2 shouldn't be possible. That's another issue I have with the archery in the game. Now that isn't exclusive to enemies though, your archer does that as well, although it just so happens where I put her, she leant round the fence. I've had it where I've shot through scenery that I shouldn't have been able to shoot through. Okay, I don't think I can shove the rock. I mean, the paladin might be strong enough. She isn't going to get close enough to attack either way, so... Oh, there's a potion there as well. Let's try. I feel like that should have hit him. I'm a little mad. Alright, what if I pull him into her? Again, I just want to experiment. Yeah, okay, that was really good. So that does work. It's just certain things that I feel like should work don't. That's full 2 AP. I technically could probably like burn him. Instead I'm just going to move. Light cover. Now what I am noticing is, because I'm playing on easy now, not hard, their HP, the enemy HP I think is more or less the same, but I definitely have more HP. Like, she would be one hit away from death if this was on normal. So I think my initial impression is easy difficulty is way too easy, normal difficulty is way too hard to be classed as normal. I still won missions, it's just it was way too close to be considered, oh, this is the base difficulty of the game in my opinion. We might see more enemies now. Also, is her shield a coffin lid? Yep, okay, we'll skip the story, it's fine. So if we get into the next section, there should be, yeah, there's a cage and a chest, and the cage actually has a healer in it. But we don't want to move up separately because that's how you die. Maybe move you there with a 1. So if I accidentally, it's got the whole XCOM thing where if you spawn a pod, they'll get free movement and you lose the rest of, well, you don't lose the rest of, oh, case in point. See, the people who have moved now, they can't really do anything else. I can lift this? No, I can't lift that. And they might have enough movement to get to my paladin, so we're going to have to do double overwatch here. If they're all melee based, then the advantage is mine. Although they are all making their defense better. Alright. So I could definitely kick that one, or I could hit him with the barrel here. Let's try that just to see what it does. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. See, now there's just so many enemies and they have such big movement. They're going to be on me by the next turn. He's stunned for a turn, so he is no longer a threat. Let's maybe do the old move one more time before performing an action. It's basically run and gun. So I can run up to you and, yeah, do that. Unfortunately, because he was guarding... Oh, God. See, this is too many enemies. Even on easy now, I think they'll probably not be able to do this. 1 in 4 chance. Yep. I just kind of want to zap you. 1 in 5 chance. Well, I got rid of the tree. See, this is too many enemies. Yeah, I think the enemies are actually doing less damage per hit as well on easy. That would have been 4, I think. Now granted, if I break out the healer, I've got an extra person, but he's only for healing. Also, his animations are broken. He doesn't currently have a heal animation. He just kind of stands there, and then eventually the game moves on. Did I forget to pick up that healing potion? I had it in the back of my mind, but I think I forgot. See, look at this movement. It's like everything is a chrysalid. That's not okay. Yeah, there's that potion back there. Alright, well. It's going to be a retreat and let them come to me type situation. Oh, I knocked the tree over and killed another one. I wasn't thinking ahead of that. That was actually pretty awesome. Blinding light. Summons holy light to blind an enemy, crippling its accuracy and dealing symbolic damage. Well, so it's not real damage. Radiant Beacon. Improves the accuracy of allies against enemies nearby. I'll try this blinding light. I haven't seen that one. Ironically, given its title, I guess. See, I'm also kind of thinking, like, kick him into him, but then there's this guy over here. It's not going to do it. Oh, I thought I could maybe use the potion this turn. I can, nice. Now then, you're almost dead, 77% chance. If this was on normal, I'd be dead by now. I just want to reiterate that. I'm only surviving because this is on easy. And that was a lucky hit, that was a 22% chance. Okay, he guarded. There's still another, the skeleton I stunned on the far right is still there, I think. I want to hurry up and get through this because I want to show you the overworld stuff before we stop here. But stuff that just kind of dynamically happens, like, oh, I accidentally knocked over a tree and it crushed a skeleton and killed him. That's great. Like, that is such an interesting concept for a battle system. Now, let's see, there's a bunch of skeletons together. He's standing on a box for some reason. I'm curious what would happen if I kicked that box, but at the same time, I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to test, rather, what happens. Can I get you into cover and attack? Yes, I can. Okay, let's see here. We want them to come to us, but I do also want to burn things. Or maybe I could whirlwind things. See, that's a 26% chance. Oh, 69%. 79 on the barrel. Sure, try that. Oh. I was kind of hoping it would, like, throw him. Oh well. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard my door. Okay, well, get in the cover, elf lady. And... oh, he's out of range. If I pulled him, he would have smacked into him and stunned them both, I think. Yeah, he's in way too good cover. And guard. Those archers aren't going to come particularly close because... oh, he went into Overwatch, in fact. Because they don't need to. If there's an enemy right next to you, you can't fire ranged. And I think they get attacks of opportunity if you move. Mage Lady has 1 HP, so I can't risk finding out if they have attacks of opportunity, sadly. It's too low a chance. Well, I need to trigger the Overwatch with someone who can take the hit. And now she can move and not get attacked. Assuming that was a thing. If I could burn that tree though. She still probably will die. Oh, keep on left clicking to attack instead of right clicking. So we've got Archer Lady and Mage Lady. I don't think there's any way for me to stun this guy to stop him killing my mage. No. But I did kill the 2 archers, so she went down fine. But this will also show you an interesting mechanic when we get to the overworld map. I don't think there's a way to resurrect your characters, and once they're dead, they're dead. At least as far as I could tell, which is not a good system, in my opinion, for this. I get it in XCOM if you lose a soldier, that's it, but these people seem important to like having plot in the missions you go to. So it seems rather weird. Now you can buy skeletons and stuff to join your force just as like little soldiers. You need magic and I think fame or renown it's called, which we'll show you once we get to the map hopefully in a second. We should have just one more set of enemies to kill. Anyway, we rescue... oh, I should have let that play because... yep, okay, yep. Oh, that's fine. Because I was curious if she had a line, but I think they actually had extra story with the skeleton talking or something. Yeah, see, she's dead and she's just done. It's also, when I did this before, all my party survived, but I didn't have the paladin. Might have given me the paladin just because we lost the mage. But anyway, we're supposed to be going to this tavern. We have a magic stat, renown, that's the other one. And we have a number of steps we can take in one day. And you can hover things over things to see what combats are involved where. Going across bridges, that's combat 2. And then you can also find things like this, so we have +1 offense in our next fight. That's some magic. 10 accuracy in the next fight. Now we do get an encounter if we go to that well, but I don't really want to because it's very, very difficult. We also, yeah, we have these other units running around. Beaters? I've never encountered one. There's a little goblin hiding there. I don't know if they're evil or not, I would assume so. It says it's classed as a monster, but it does move around collecting things on the map and claiming them. So when you get here, you take on a bunch of quests. There's 3 quests to tackle for victory. 3 different locations to visit. Also, I assume this will be changed because it's a little basic looking, the menus here. And you can recruit people. So the M stands for magic, the R is for renown. You need tons of it. Like ridiculously large amounts of it. And there's some health potions you can buy with a little bit of magic. But the point is, I can't like resurrect the dead mage. And that makes it basically impossible to win beyond a certain point or to proceed because there's too many enemies in each combat. I think the last thing I'll show you though is we'll get into combat. 5 goblin archers. Fine, get into combat with them. Yeah, sure. This probably won't have a plot. The well one did have a plot, which is actually quite funny because of what the plot is. So yeah, we just started combat. There's a bunch of, like, say, like a group of 3 and a group of 1. Let's do restart battle. Different map layout, different enemy layout. So I guess it's also, it's kind of like you can reroll until you get a setup where it looks like you've got a chance. I don't like that. And as I say, I think the enemies are way too unbalanced on normal. Permadeath is fine within certain contexts. Within the XCOM concept, it works. In this, so far, at least what's in the alpha build, I don't think it works at all. But it's obviously subject to change because it's an alpha. That did not look like holy light. That looks like poison to me. So yeah, they've got a ways to go. It's very early on. I'd be very interested in revisiting this at a late beta stage or, you know, ideally like full release down the line. Just to see how far it comes. Balance in these types of games are always the biggest thing. In my opinion anyway. And XCOM isn't known for being entirely correct in everything it does. But you see how reasonably tough it can be, and this is playing on the easiest difficulty. But still, it's not going to be out on Steam Early Access until later this month, April 26th. There is a Steam Store page which I will be linking below, so you can go check it out, keep it on your watch list if you're interested. And I wouldn't say write this one off. I've enjoyed the alpha build, it's got some problems, but I've enjoyed it more than I've disliked. They just need to tweak it a little bit and heavily tweak the overmap stuff, I feel. So we have a smoke bomb, or we can make a raid to put out fire. Very similar to Divinity. I can't reach any of them in this turn, unfortunately. Can I kick this boulder into you? Ow. All I did was lose my cover for no reason. Alright, we'll finish the fight. Yeah. Again, she would have been very, very dead had this have been on normal. I moved him a bit further towards us. Enough to die, in fact. Give him nowhere to run. Just get right up in his business. Oh, in fact, the attack of opportunity got him. So that is the basics of Fort Triumph. As you saw from the main menu, there is a bunch more campaign types they have planned. Or at least they're hinting at them with all of these. And obvious references. Check it out if you're interested. Keep it on your watch list for when it gets added to Steam later this month. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.